In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Anthony Edwards and how he is able to score so easily in the NBA. He is one of the best basketball players in the world, so let's get down and let's check him out. But if you are looking to be able to jump higher, make sure to go check out the vertical jump training workout that is down in the description below. And of course, if you like this app where I can draw all over the screen, it's called Coach Lens, and you can get 10% off down in the description below. So I'm going to start this in slow motion, and let's really look at what Anthony Edwards does off of this screen. He's actually a very smart player. So when he uses the screen, he's not exactly getting shoulder to shoulder. He's not exactly perfect on this screen. However, one thing that he is reading is what his defender is doing, what Rudy Gobert is doing, and what the drop coverage is doing. The next thing he's going to look at over his next step or two is going to be what help defense and what gap defenses are doing to him and how to attack, if he needs to pass or if he needs to get to the rim, or of course shoot the three. So at this point, he does a quick hesitation, which then gets the defender onto his heels. Remember, if you are coming off of a screen and there was a switch because your man went over and you are now being guarded by that drop coverage, if you are a forward or a guard being guarded by a center, historically and generally speaking, that center is going to be much slower. If you attack on this side, that's ball side, which means that this gap defender has to be glued to his corner man or you're kicking the ball out to him, which means that there's an open gap and you are essentially going 1-on-2. And you really have to read this because in reality, it's actually a 2-on-2 situation. So it's Anthony Edwards and who looks to be Randall in the corner versus these two defenders here. We're not counting these two players. We're not counting these two players. We're not counting these two players because they don't matter. So Anthony Edwards attacks. Once he gathers that ball, he's scanning. What is help doing? Is there a lane? Yes. Is help coming over? No, which means that I get to the rim. If help was coming over, if this man was playing defense over here instead, then it would be a kick out to the corner. However, with help not playing help, it's a wide open lane to the basket. The other thing that I really want to point out is the fact that when Anthony Edwards goes up for this layup, he's not going for the dunk. He could have probably gone for the dunk if he wanted to. But where does that ball hit? It hits right there. You need to be able to use that whole entire backboard to your advantage. So many players only play in this part of the backboard. Very rarely some players will go up here. Nobody uses this part of the backboard at the youth level. If you are a younger player and you can utilize this part of the backboard, you are going to be even more unstoppable than everybody else at your age, especially if you're 12 or 13 years old. Okay, so we've all heard our coaches, even myself, and people who have been coached by me say do not take a million dribbles to attack a defender. However, there's a difference between a million dribbles and then attacking a defender. So there's one dribble there, there's another dribble there. At this point, these quick jabs and crossovers are to try and shift this defender left and right and to get him stuck on his heels. That is what Anthony Edwards is doing right now. He's getting his shoulders lower than his defender's shoulders. That's going to give him leverage into that player because as the offensive player, you want to be able to have contact first with the defensive player. Now, once he gets into the attack mode, he's shifted just enough. He has a lane right here. It's very short. He needs to attack that shoulder. When he attacks, it's one quick cross, and because this defender was originally to the right of Anthony Edwards and Anthony Edwards was here, this cross made him overreact, and now there's a wide open gap over on this side. So by trying to shift your defender and then reading where he's about to go and taking a quick one dribble. Let's go back. This is one dribble attack. He shifted his man. Second dribble. You always want to try and keep your attacks between 1 and 2 dribbles. If you can't get to the rim within 1 to 2 dribbles, you have to be able to create a mid-range or 3-point shot in the 1 or 2 dribbles. And that's exactly what Anthony Edwards does right here, and that's what allows him to be able to get that shot off. And of course, made. Now, this is something that I was teaching David, my nephew. You've probably seen him on multiple channels that I run. This is something that I was teaching him today. So you have the space. You want to pull the 3. You've got the space, but you just need maybe a half an inch more. That's all you need is a half an inch, because this guy's tall, lanky, athletic, quite a bit taller than Anthony Edwards, so he wants to have the comfort of having a little bit more space. One thing that you can do is just this one quick jab dribble. That backs him up literally a half a step. That's all you need. Watch. One jab dribble backs him up. Step back, his hands are down. You have the wide open shooting lane. You've got this. It's basically wide open, and he makes the shot. To be a really good shooter, and I mean an NBA level shooter, you have to be able to know how long it's going to take you to take your shot versus what the defender is going to do. So obviously, defenders are not going to be looking to close out strong and really try and block your shot. They're just going to try and contest it. That's number one. And number two is, can I get that shot off in time before he lifts his arm and gets it within that shooting lane as a contest? And if the answer is yes in your head, then you got to pull it. This is why you got to train with partners and go through scenarios. So here Anthony Edwards comes off the screen once more. He attacks his defender, the drop coverage, towards the left side. Now Anthony Edwards has that man on his right side. He's going to go up with his left hand, floater, and uses his body as a shield. If you can use your body as a shield, as we can see right here, he's using his body and slightly his off arm as a shield so that his left hand layup, floater, whatever, doesn't get blocked. By having that body control and left and right hand control at the rim is something that everyone needs at the NBA level. I hope that these skills, tactics, and IQ help you become a better basketball player. Make sure to go check out the vertical jump training book that is down in the description below if you want to be able to jump higher like Anthony Edwards. I'll see you guys again in my next video.